So let's face it, Americans have a lot of debt. In fact, we have over $14 trillion worth of debt in the country. Now, if you take away home mortgages, that still leaves us with trillions of dollars worth of student loans, credit card bills, personal loans, auto loans. The fact is we have a lot of debt that we owe to various different organizations and companies. And so what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to break it down as simple as possible as how you can essentially implement one of the most effective debt payoff strategies. And I want you to be very wary about people who are offering to help eradicate your credit card debt or to boost your credit score 200 points. Anybody who's offering that, just be very careful of what's in it for them. In a lot of cases, it's going to be taking a piece of the pie, trying to get some money from you to help you get rid of the credit card bills that you owe. So just be very careful with that when you go through this debt payoff journey. But look, we have over $30,000 in student loans on average when people graduate from college. A lot of millennials are flooded with debt. And if you watched the previous video about how a lot of millennials are going to struggle to get to retirement, one of those reasons is because of debt. And that holds people back from not only starting families, from not only buying houses, but it holds them back from contributing to their retirement accounts. It holds people back from making life decisions for their long-term future, for saving for their kids' college plans, because they're not able to save any money because they have so much debt. So it's very essential to pay off debt as soon as possible, and I think a lot of us know that, but there's more urgency to it than I think some people might realize. And the reason for this is because if you look at the current state of the economy, a lot of economists will agree that it's doing fairly well. Some people think that it's not doing as well as it looks on paper, but the truth is the unemployment rate's the lowest it's been in a very, very long time, and the economy's doing pretty well, at least compared to what it was doing 10 years ago. So looking at that, you think, well, this is good. We're doing well. I don't have to worry about my debt as much. But I just want to remind you that the economy can change very, very quickly, and people can lose their jobs. People get laid off. If we enter something like what we did 10 years ago, people had large amounts of debt, and it was fine at the moment. Maybe they had a house that was a little bit too big for them. Maybe they had $10,000 worth of credit card debt, but they were able to kind of get by because they were making pretty good money. They were middle managers somewhere. And then the recession hits, and that could happen again in the future. So you need to be very careful of this, because if you get laid off, if you lose a job, suddenly it's almost impossible to start paying off those bills, to start paying all those things, and then you're going to start defaulting on loans and file for bankruptcy. And that's not fun, but because you're watching this video, you should be in pretty good shape. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert on this. This is just my opinion, but I wanted to share it with you today, and it's all free. So let's just kind of get into the meat and potatoes of this video. And one of the first things that we need to talk about is some of these debt consolidation plans that you see kind of floating around. I know whenever I check the mail, I get like 10 different things about debt consolidation for student loans. Now, I have seen some loan consolidation plans work for people. Essentially, the way that this works is that, say you have 4 different credit cards, and each one of those credit cards has a different interest rate, maybe 25%, maybe some of them are 22%, but they're all probably in the 20s, maybe the upper teens, for your annual interest rate that you're paying on your credit cards. What these loan consolidation plans can do is you can take all of these different loans, so you're paying like 5 different bills monthly, and it consolidates them into one loan, and in some cases that loan could be, say, 15% or 13% instead of the average of 23% with a credit card. Now, that's possible. There are a lot of companies out there that offer that. I'm still not a huge fan of it, but I can tell you that it is a fix for somewhat kind of saving a little bit of money if you have a lot of bills. Some loan consolidation plans could be something that you want to explore, but I want you to keep in mind that this is sort of just a short-term little fix. And this goes with 0% APR, like credit transfers, where maybe you have a credit card, $10,000 worth of credit card bills, and you transfer it to a different card, and then you get 0% APR for the next 12 months, which means that you don't pay any interest on that. That's a short-term fix, and it's something that you can do in the short run, but it's not good for the long term of actually getting rid of those credit card bills. The truth is, the only way to really get rid of your credit card bills is to pay them. To pay your debt is the best way to do that. So you could explore some of those different things. Just be very careful on that, but you can certainly save some money if you go that route. Now let's talk about the actual strategies when it comes to paying off debt. There's really 2 strategies. One of them is called the Debt Snowball method, and the other is the Debt Avalanche method. Now both of them are very effective. I sort of have a preference on one that I think is the most effective, that mathematically makes the most sense, but we're going to go over each one of these. So essentially, the first strategy that you can take is what we call the Debt Avalanche method. And what this does is you essentially tackle the highest interest rate debt first. So let's say that you have 5 different types of debt, and each one of them has a different interest rate. Maybe the credit card interest is the highest at 23%. Then you have maybe a personal loan at 17%. Then you have maybe some other type of debt like a student loan at 10%, and then a home mortgage at 4% and an auto loan at 3%. What you do in this case on the Avalanche method for paying off debt is you focus heavily on paying off the highest interest rate debt first. Now, the key to doing this with any debt payoff strategy that you ever use is you need to make the minimum payment every month for every type of debt that you have. As soon as you start missing minimum payments, 2 things happen. First of all, you get hit with the late fee. I know that happens with credit cards. You might get a $30 or $40 late fee if you skip your credit card bill. Don't do that. But also, it's going to end up hurting your credit score because it means that you defaulted on that payment. It means that you weren't able to make that payment. So without a doubt, you need to make sure that you're making at least the minimum payments on all of your bills, okay? Once you make the minimum payments, then with the Avalanche method, you look at the highest interest rate and you tackle that interest rate first. So you take all of the leftover money after you created a budget with Microsoft Excel, or you just wrote down all of your expenses, you created the budget, you found out, okay, I have $200 left over at the end of the month. What should I put this money towards? After you put it towards your minimum payments, then you take any leftover money and you focused on the highest interest rate debt first. And then once that highest interest rate debt first, which is probably going to be credit card debt. If it's not credit card debt, it might be personal loans or something that's very high in terms of interest rates, right? You can find all these interest rates by simply just calling whoever's giving you that loan or looking on their website, seeing your account to see how much interest you're paying. And you know, it kind of startles me to see how many of my friends, when we talk about student loans or maybe this car loan that they just got, and I ask them, what interest rate are you paying on that? And a lot of people just don't know. They know their monthly payment, but they don't know the interest rate. Find out what your interest rate is for all of your types of debt. Write it down, have it written down somewhere so you can look at it, okay? So that's the Debt Avalanche method. It's paying off the highest interest rate debt. Once it's totally gone, once you eradicate that debt, then you have 4 types of debt left, right? Then, while, of course, paying all the minimum payments, you focused on the second highest interest rate, then you focused on the third highest interest rate, and you just go down the list until you have no debt left over. What this does is it really prioritizes to focus on those payments that are going to end up costing you a lot more money if you let them go on longer. Like credit card bills with 25% interest is going to be pretty painful over the long run. Then you might have things like a home mortgage where maybe you're paying 3% or 4% interest. To be honest with you, in those cases, I'm willing to carry debt that's 3 or 4% interest because that's very low. And in a lot of cases, I can make more money by putting my money into investments or into the stock market and then kind of just make those monthly payments on the mortgage on those kind of lower payments, 3 or 4%. You know, a lot of people have asked me too, that should they focus on investing or should they focus on paying off debt? Should they put money into their retirement account or should they pay off their debt because they have all these credit card bills or different types of loans? My personal choice for this, and this is not necessarily advice for you, but this is for myself, any debt that I have that is over 5% interest rates for the year, I will focus on paying that off as much as possible. And if it's anything less than 5%, I'll just pay the required monthly payment for it and not really worry about it as much because the average stock market grows about 7 to 10% per year. I think 2019, the stock market's up over 20%. So in a lot of cases, anything below 5%, I don't really sweat that much. Obviously, I'm still making those payments, but it's not something that I'm focusing on as much as those higher interest rate debts. Now, that's the Debt Avalanche approach. It mathematically makes the most sense, but in a lot of cases, people struggle to really kind of use this effectively because they can get discouraged. It's difficult to make it actually work and to start to really see progress. So the other method is called the Debt Snowball approach to paying off debt. And this is what, you know, people like Dave Ramsey, who's really, really a great guy when it comes to helping people kind of get onto their feet financially. And the idea here is that with, say you have 5 different types of debt, same example of what we just used, but instead of focusing on that highest interest rate debt first, you're going to instead focus on the lowest payment, the lowest total balance for that debt, okay? So let's say that between these 5 different types of debt, the lowest balance debt is going to be your auto loan. You only owe $1,200 more on this auto loan. So in this case, what this means is that you would just focus as much as you can while, of course, paying off all of your minimum payments on all types of 5 debts every month. Then you focus on the lowest balance first, and then you move on to the second lowest balance. And what this does is it allows people to sort of eradicate different types of debt faster than maybe what you could do with the other debt avalanche approach. And so what this does is it kind of lets people see some progress, because maybe after a few months, they suddenly only have 4 different bills to pay. And then after a few more months, maybe they only have 3 different bills that they have to pay. And so you certainly see a lot more progress. Mathematically, it doesn't make as much sense because you might be paying more in interest over the course of your debt payoff journey. But psychologically, it can make a lot more sense, and it can actually be more effective for some people, especially if you've struggled with paying off bills in the past. I think the debt snowball method would likely be a pretty good route for you. And if you want to learn more about these different types of debt, just do like a quick Google search on the exact strategies. And if I kind of lost you somewhere along here, just do a quick Google search and you'll find how to do that. And the final solution here, if you still aren't able to really put a dent into your debt, if say on average you're paying $300 in just interest on top of the money that you owe, say you have $100,000 in student loans, something crazy, you have $200,000 in student loans, or you have $30,000 in credit card bills, your other option once you get to that point is to find a way to make more money. And that's one of the only things that you can do if it gets to the point where you're running a budget, you're saving as much money as possible, you moved into a smaller apartment, you're not buying Starbucks, you're not going out and spending hundreds of dollars on entertainment, and you're still not able to make a dent in your debt payoff journey. You're gonna have to find a way to increase income in some way, whether that's just picking up an extra shift at work, picking up some type of side hustle, some type of side job, or finding a way to just increase your income one way or another. And I know that can be difficult to do, just kind of making it sound easy by just saying that's what you have to do, and it sounds very obvious, but it's kind of one of the last things. If nothing else works, and if you're still struggling with making a dent in paying off debt, then you're gonna have to find a way to make more money. And it's very possible, I promise you it's very possible. Plenty of videos on this channel helping people not only with saving money and with budgeting, but also with increasing your income. So if you're looking for business ideas or different ways to increase your income quite significantly, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we don't sell anything, we do our best here to help as many people as possible with personal finance. So I think that's essentially gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate all the support, and I'll see everybody in the next video.